Today we're going to try Michelangelo's Eggplant Parmesan. Now, I like the Michelangelo brand. I think that their lasagna is pretty good. It's not the best, but it's definitely a step up from Stouffer's lasagna. So we're going to try the Eggplant Parmesan meal. It's pretty hefty, 11 ounces, but it feels like a lot more. We're going to follow the microwave instructions, but it specifically says on the back, microwaves work too. But would Nana approve? I don't know. I don't have a Nana, but... Anyways, remove the entree from the carton, step 1. Place tray in the microwave with film on and cook for 5 to 6 minutes. Carefully remove film and let stand. So you just basically cook it for 5 to 6 minutes. There's no special instructions outside of that. Michelangelo's. Let me take it out of the box and see what it looks like before we microwave it. I'm slightly impressed by the look of it. It feels hefty. I'm just hoping that the eggplant comes out good and not like a soggy mess eggplant. That's my real hope with this meal. All right, here's my meal out of the microwave, 5.5 minutes. One quick note, when I took the film off, the cheese kind of came with it and I had to kind of scrape it off, which is kind of a blessing and a curse because you know that at least your meal is full because it was touching the top, but also kind of annoying because I lost a little bit of cheese to the plastic film. But anyways, let's take a bite. I've got a bite here. It cut through pretty easily, which maybe is a bad sign. I feel like it might be a little bit too soggy, but we'll try it. It looks like you get like 4 or 5 eggplant patties, so it's a pretty sizable meal. Let's give it a bite. Somewhat mixed thoughts on this, but I do like it overall. The problem really is, I'm going to go just straight into it. The problem is the eggplant itself just gets kind of lost in the shuffle. The sauce is good. The cheese is good. There's not a ton of it, but there's enough, honestly. I was surprised. Usually frozen meals, cheese is one of the things you lose out on, but there's actually enough cheese in this to make the whole meal. There's enough sauce too. The breading is pretty good. It kind of reminds me of like a panko breadcrumb kind of flavor. There's not like a ton of seasoning to it, but it does have a nice breadcrumb taste. But the eggplant just kind of becomes like it just holds all the other flavors. You don't taste the eggplant very much. I tried to isolate the eggplant on its own, and it does, you know, it is eggplant. It does taste like eggplant, but once you take all the stuff off. But when you're taking a bite of this kind of like thick eggplant casserole almost, you lose the eggplant. All you really taste is the sauce and the cheese and some of the breadcrumbs, which is fine because they all taste pretty good. So I guess what it really comes down to is when you're eating this eggplant parmesan, are you looking for an eggplant flavor or are you looking for the more Italian elements of it, the sauce and the cheese? Is that what's more important to you? I would have liked some eggplant flavor, but I don't hate that it's kind of covered up because it still tastes good. It just kind of tastes like the eggplant is just a vessel for the rest of the sauce and cheese. So a bit disappointing in that front because I do like a good eggplant parmesan with some thicker eggplants. These are kind of thin. That might be part of the problem. But they do cut good. They're not crisp. That's one thing I said at the beginning. The breadcrumb doesn't really retain any crispiness. You can taste it. It kind of flakes off, but it's not crisp anymore. It's a very soft meal. You could eat this, I guess, I don't know, if you had no teeth probably, because it's very soft and cuttable. And it does kind of turn into a mushy kind of mess after a while, but it all still tastes really good. It's just you're missing the eggplant. So with that said, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 because I think that this is a pretty good, I guess, vegetarian, it's not vegan, vegetarian meal if you're looking for just a frozen meal that doesn't have meat in it. This one's pretty good, eggplant parmesan, and it approximates a good eggplant parmesan close enough. It's just missing the freshness of a fresh eggplant, which I guess makes sense for a frozen meal. So 4 out of 5, I think it's pretty good. Michelangelo's brand is usually pretty good. So check it out if you're interested, and I'll see you next time.